here with Diamond Gucci. Thank you for stopping by and one of the
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
And tell me about yourself.
Okay, well, I am Puerto Rican and light skin, and I am born and raised in Las Vegas. I was living on the east side my entire life, and now I am located in the Henderson area. I like it, honestly. I've always just been around in Vegas, so I've experienced every area of Vegas, honestly. And I don't know, what should I start off about myself?
Just growing up with your family.
Well, so I had started out at SECTA. If you don't know what that school is, it is Southeast Career Technical Academy. I was in the culinary field, which I really enjoyed, and it helped me significantly in like my field because I've worked in a variety of different kitchens. I ran for actually cross country at SECTA, and then I carried it track. I did track in Valley High School, and that's where most of my friends are from Valley because I lived in the Valley area. So that was just kind of it. But I'm trying to think too. Oh, something else I guess I could say about me is I was one of the top runners in Nevada, so that was why I was running in two different schools because my coaches were making me. They were like, you need to be constantly running. So I was doing sports from I did basketball and football. Honestly, I'm not good at either. I'm not good at them, but I'm really good at running for some reason. And I've never really practiced. I was just good at it. So I appreciate that running, but yeah. I still want to get more back into working out and everything too, but I have been falling off. I've just been so busy, but wait till I get back into that, honestly. That'd be kind of fun. And right now I'm studying in developmental psychology, and it's really fun. I'm trying to be a behavioral therapist one day, and that would be the best. I want to help children that honestly get looked at as just bad, because there's always a reason for why we're acting out for a certain behavior, and I just want to give a child a chance because, especially out here, it's hard. Parents can get very difficult and challenging, so definitely want to just do what I can.
And what did you say? What is it called?
My field?
Yeah, the field.
Oh, developmental psychology.
Oh, psychology. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then how long of the school is that? Do you know?
Well, so right now I did 4 years. I'm on my junior year, so I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree, so it'll be 4 years. But after that, I'm debating if I want to start finishing my culinary career because I only need 2 more years to finish culinary school. So I'm debating if I just want to switch to that after and then finish and go back for my master's in psychology. But we'll see where it takes me from there. But no matter what, I am going to start up my career probably next year when I'm going to start doing internships and everything for that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then what's your nationality?
I am Puerto Rican, black and white. My mom is the one that is Puerto Rican, and my dad is the light-skinned one. And honestly, I love my ethnicity. I think it's always just really fun because I've always blended in with anybody that wanted me to blend in with them, honestly. It's worked out for me. And I don't know, honestly, I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately. I really wish I did. That'd be the best ever. My mom speaks fluent Spanish. My whole mom's side speaks fluent Spanish, but I was raised by my dad. I lived with my mom growing up for the first few years, and then I think I would say after 4 years, and I actually spoke Spanish when I lived with her, but after 4 years I ended up moving with my dad, and I just lost all of it. And I actually, it was funny because I spoke butchered English is what my grandma would say. My grandma is the best, but she was very strict when I ended up living with her because she I would talk to her and she'd be like, that's not how you say that, Diamond. She was like, it's not you ain't got no, it's you do not have. And I'm like, I was like, I didn't want to talk to her anymore. I was like, I just don't want to talk, but that's just how everyone around me talks. So I just ended up just adapting to everyone, how everyone talks, But I don't know. Now I am grateful for at least trying to help me with it, but I still struggle with just proper English. Now I'm just talk too fast too. I get told that too. I talk too fast. And yeah, but I was raised with my grandparents really too because I started with my mom and I went with my dad for the first couple of years, and then we went homeless, unfortunately, and that's when I went to live with my grandma and grandpa, and they took in my whole family, but it was really just my grandma and grandpa I was mostly with. My grandpa raised me though. Me and my grandpa, he's been with me even while living with my dad. He was the caretaker really. So I love my grandparents to death, and they're my ride or die, so love them. But yeah, honestly, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it.
Oh, you did say homeless. How did that happen, or
it was just
out there, or what?
Well, so my mom had me when she was 16, and my dad was 20. So already they were kind of starting off young and struggling out and everything. But it happened because I just think bills, just things were starting to fall out. And my mom, when they got divorced around they actually never divorced. They divorced recently. They were separated for since I was young. But they pretty much separated, and my mom, she made like a lot of the money at the time, and my dad, he made a good amount of money, but then like when she left, she kind of like completely like cut off the like money. My dad, he was trying, but like trying to the extent also trying to keep up with the standard of what everybody wants him to be. My dad is a smoke dog. I don't know if you've heard him, but like he is known in Vegas, and it's very funny because like he just wanted to keep that standard of having to be the cool guy, you know, so you got to spend money and do things and all that. So like it was also hard for him to like, I guess, like keep up with bills and other things at times. But so yeah, he fell off on that, and then we just went homeless, and we lived in a garage for a little bit, which ended up sucking because like all of our stuff was in there, and the people that we were living in the garage of, we had let them stay with us before, and they were like very happy about it and everything, but when we tried staying with them, they were like having an issue with it, so we had to leave that. And then like my dad was like, he's a very prideful man. I love him to death though. He's a very prideful man, so he doesn't want to like ask for help or anything, so he was just like avoiding it. But my grandma and my grandpa are so like, they're very loving, and but my grandma's worked so hard for everything, but we all lived in a 1-bedroom apartment for years, and it was my grandparents like room to begin with. So we like lived in like my grandma, like, I love her to death because she made me a whole like little corner. It was a little room, and it was my room, my little space, and it was super sweet. So she was always on my side for that whole thing. But yeah, we lived with them, and it was honestly the best though, because like it taught me a lot about life. Like my grandparents really were like the foundation of like who I am, honestly. And then my dad, like he was still going through a lot of figuring out his life and everything, so like he was pretty much in and out, honestly. But yeah, he was a little in and out, but he's getting there now. He's trying his best. And my grandparents were really the ones that like took me like in and took care of me for everything. And then right now, my grandparents, they finally retired recently. So like I actually moved out at 18 because I went to college, and I went to GCU in Arizona, and my dad kind of was like, you need to go to college, you're forcing me to go to college. And I didn't want to go to college at first because I honestly didn't think I was like ready, and I didn't know what I wanted to study, and I didn't feel I was like smart enough. I was like, I don't know what to do. And also, I hated running. I actually hated running because it was forced on me because I was good at it. So everybody was like, you need to be the best. And I was like, I don't even like doing this. I did this. I ran good on accident, and it just kind of like, it took me places. I even made it on the newspaper, but it was like, I didn't like really, really want to do it. So like, I didn't know what to do with my life. And then I went to Arizona. I went to a different school, and it didn't work out for me. That school just, it was a great school for other people. It just didn't work out for me in my experience. And I ended up doing a lot of bad things. I started like falling into drugs, and like, not just weed, actual drugs. So it started getting like bad. And then like, I was just like, since I didn't really want to go back home anymore, I didn't have the best relationship with my family. I was like, I didn't want to go back. But at the same time, my family is all I know. So I was like, I was in such a moment because I was like, I want to go back home so bad, and I love Vegas. There's nothing like Vegas because there's no places that are open 24/7. There's not something that you can do. I can walk out at any time, at any moment I want to, if I really wanted to, and I can go talk to somebody. I can go do something. I love that. I love that you can, if I want to. I'm very much like, I love to just take walks. So just to be able to like see lights and just do things, like you can't go do that everywhere, you know? So like, and a lot of people don't like that lifestyle. Like when I went to Hawaii and I was talking to people, they were like, I don't know where to walk my dog. I can't poop. And I was like, yes, honestly, it's a real thing. Like some people don't like that, but honestly, I love it. I love hearing the noise. I love activity. I love that. So yeah. And when I lived in Arizona, it was so different for me. And I was just falling in with a lot of like bad people at the time. So it was just like, I was just going through like a lot of bad things, you know? And then I also was like afraid to reach out to my family because I was like, I didn't know what to do. But my grandma, she was the one that like thankfully saved me as always, because I told her, I was like, honestly, Grandma, I don't want to be here anymore. I was like, I want to get my life together, because I actually do want to go to school. I just didn't want to go to school there. It wasn't good for me. And I was like, I want to go back home. I want to start my life over. And then my dad wasn't very supportive at the time. He was like, no, it's not going to work out. Oh, that was a factor too. My husband now, I had met then at that time, and he had got kicked out of that school for selling drugs. Okay. So I was like, but he's a great man. He's a great man, but he wasn't selling anything crazy. He was like selling weed, but at the time it was like federally illegal on that campus. So it wasn't very good. And he's okay with me saying that. He's okay, because it was a whole thing for him and everything, but it was fairly illegal. And so it carried on, and my dad already kind of had this like rep where he was like, oh yeah, like this guy is already stopping you from going to school and all this stuff. And I was like, honestly, Dad, that's not the case. I was like, it's not the case. It's not even his fault. I was like, honestly, he's like the most supportive person that's been here with me through it all, honestly. And then like, he ended up kind of figuring that out. Like once that's me and my dad had like a whole like finally moment of like telling him like, you got to chill out a little bit. When I told him I was going to move back home, he was like, no, you're not. He was like, you're not moving back home, and you're not gonna like, well, pretty much, because his ego, he's like, you're not gonna embarrass me and say you dropped out of school and did this and did this, and he was like, you're not gonna go be with this white boy and do all this. And I was like, I know, Dad, I know, but I was like, listen, I don't care what you have to say, honestly, I'm gonna live my life and I'm gonna do it. And then he was really upset, but then like my grandma was like, I guess my grandma told me like he came over to her and was like crying and was like, Diamond's messing up her life, and my grandma was like, she's coming home. She was like, she's coming home. Like, she's going to be okay. Like, we're going to, like, if she's coming home, we can at least figure it out and, like, restart it. And, like, now I'm back in school. I'm about to graduate here pretty soon. Like, I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing, honestly. Like, I have, like, a house, honestly. I have nothing to complain about. I'm married now. So, like, my dad even, like, me and my dad are we're very, he's my best friend at the end of the day. But, like, so now he's very grateful. And he even admits it now, too. He's like, I was totally wrong. He was like, I shouldn't have said anything. He was like, you got to figure it out. He was like, I was just stressed and I wanted you to know I was stressed. He was like, at the end of the day, I love you and like I support you through it all. So my family is that's like the thing is like my family's always been so rough and hectic, but they're so like, they love me. At the end of the day, I'm their diamond, you know? So that there's nobody else. So like they love me. And my dad's only actual child. So, and I'm a girl. So he said I changed his mindset on everything in life. So like, it's just like different in some ways. And then I do have my brothers, they're my stepbrothers though. I've known my little brother since he was 2, and then my oldest one, I've known him since we were both since we can comprehend stuff. So they're my brothers to me, and they're Filipino, honestly. So it's funny because my stepmom is Asian too. So I've been around just so much different, just cultures and diversity. It's why I never really minded what people call me. Like, for example, if I go somewhere, people are like, oh, she's black. And then I'm like, yeah, I am, because I am black, because I know I am. And then people are like, oh, no, she's only Hispanic. And I'm like, hey, well, I'm Hispanic, whatever you want me to be. No, she's only white, whatever you want me to be. I really don't care, because I've been around everybody, and everybody is the same. Everybody is the same. And I've been around just with all my Asian family, and then I've been around just being with my grandma, who is fully Caucasian, my grandpa, who was fully African American, and my dad, who was light skinned, and then my mom, who is Puerto Rican. Like, it's just so many different, like, diversities, and I don't know, it's very funny. I've always loved my life, and I love it, because if you see my family pictures, they're hilarious. They're hilarious. Like, my stepmom, I remember going to a grocery store once, and she made, it was all of me and my cousins, and, like, everybody, and, like, I remember somebody being like, so, like, do you have multiple just baby daddies, a different person? Like, it's like literally just asking her out the box, do you have multiple, like, baby daddies of, like, different ethnicities? And she was like, it just happened to work out this way. She was like, I don't know, because like two of them, the two that are from her are the Filipino, but then like now she's got this Hispanic one, and then now she's got these little black kids next to her, and then she got another little white kid next to her, and she's like, it's just been so funny, like my entire life. And even my family, like if you ask my brothers, they're like, we are a very, very diverse family. And I love it though, because like it's just showed me so much about the world, because everybody's literally the same. Like we're all just human. The same thing. Doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what culture you come from. We all have something to share, and we all have something that we can be a part of. And I love it. I really do. So that's all I can say about my ethnicity, I guess. Yeah.
And then you did mention Arizona. So that's where you met your husband?
Yes, that's where I met him.
Yeah.
Yes.
How was that?
That was a situation. That was actually hilarious, because I had met this girl at the time, and she was like my best friend at the time, and we're cool now, but we fell off at the beginning because we were both just like in a terrible mindset. But now we're actually doing amazing. We're both like cool and everything, because we both know we're actually making success in life and doing what we can. And but when we first met each other, she was the one that introduced me to him, and then it got weird because I had told her I like thought he was cute. Well. Pretty much I met him, and the first thing we said to each other actually was like, you smoke? Because I was going to go smoke with her, and we just happened to be there, and he was like, yeah, you smoke? And I was like, yeah, I smoke. And then he was like, yeah, I smoke. And there really wasn't a lot of white boys down there that smoked. Like, and I was looked at pretty weird already just for smoking. And surprisingly, I'm not that dark, but I've been called monkey down there. I've been called literally like slave. I've been like everything. People out the box said the craziest things, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, okay. I'm like, take a breath, but whatever. So like already I was like, it was hard to like find people that like really like I connected with. And so the girl I was already best friends with was Persian. So it was already hard when there's a Persian girl and a light-skinned girl on this like Christian white campus, so, to be honest. So everyone's already looking at us a little like, extra, and he didn't look at me like weird. Like I could just tell like it just didn't feel like odd. Like a lot of times like guys would look at me either like sexualized in a way, like you can tell they're looking at you like they've never seen a light-skinned girl before, and they're like a lot of these white boys come from places that literally have never seen a light-skinned person before. So they're like, there's over that, or there'll be like just the boys that are just like, I don't know, like not just in the mindset that I'm trying to be in, like just like in just the frat boy lifestyle. You know, there's a lot of that on campus, and I'm just like, I was over it. And when I met him, he told me he was trying to be nonchalant and cool and everything, and he said, oh yeah, I'm doing something right now though. So he was like not trying to hang out or anything, but I had told the Mickey girl, her name is Mickey, that's her name, but I was hanging out with Mickey, and then I told her that I thought he was cute because like she was friends with him, and then she was like, oh, don't talk to him, he likes me. And I was like, oh. I was like, do you like him though? And she was like, no, he just likes me though. And I was like, okay, well, I like him. I was like, so I'm still gonna go for it. And then come to find out, he didn't like her, and like she just thought that because he would go over to her dorm to borrow her pen to like, her battery on her pen so he can like hit it. He's a fiend for things. It's funny, but like anyway, but like his story, it was matching up. It was funny, but like yeah. So she was just like taking it like extra, and it was a whole thing. And so when I met him, literally, I think we had the weirdest story because it was 2 weeks of knowing each other, and we moved in together. Because we've only known each other for 2 weeks, and then I had lived on the campus. I lived with them on my dorm, and honestly, I hated my roommates. I was never in my dorm. That was like part of the why I was there, because one of my roommates was fire. She was the best. Her name is Kia, and she was like a Hawaiian girl, and she was like the sweetest person. She was like such a hard worker. The other ones didn't like me because I guess I don't even know. I really don't know. I don't know, but they've told me that I came into my dorm once and they were like, we're gonna dress and act like Diamond today, and they were wearing my clothes. And I took that, that's a little bit to heart. And I was like, and they also were like very much against that I smoked weed and stuff. And I was very like respectful of it because I kept it in my little box. Did nothing. I never smoked in like the room. I would literally go smoke outside. I actually smoked one time in the bathroom, and they told me I couldn't do that, so I never did it again. I only smoked at the park. And then they were like, Diamond, you can't be smoking in here. I can't be doing this. It's just like, it's ugly. It's all this extra shit. And then, but they were drinking and leaving bottles in the room, which was just as not allowed on campus. So I was like, whatever. Whatever. So I never wanted to be there. And then I had, when I had met him, he ironically, like a week into knowing him, we started like talking. We never actually talked. I kind of like made the first move in a way. I don't really know. I don't know how to describe it, because he made the first move only because he asked to FaceTime me, because I had made a post. I was like, if somebody would like call me or whatever, and he was like, I'll call you. So that was like technically his first move, but I was the first one to say that he was cute. I was like, I think you're cute, by the way. I think that we should talk. And then he was like, he didn't say anything. I literally remember he didn't acknowledge that I just said he was cute. So I was like, oh, this guy doesn't like me. So I kind of just like brushed it off. And then I have a video. He ended up, we were like hanging out somewhere, and like he was in the front seat with his friend. And after we got back, he hopped in the back seat to hang out with me for some reason, but didn't like have a reason to be in the back seat with me, you know? So I was like, kind of just like, I was like, oh, what is this guy doing here? And then, I don't know, he ended up just telling me that like he like thought I was like pretty and stuff, but like I guess, oh, that was the part, the Mickey girl, I guess, was telling him to make bets to like not talk to me. Like, I don't know, she was just like on something, you know, but you know what, we're cool. But I was like, you know, it was just, at the time it was just hard. She just kept making bets to like not like talk to me. So he was like, of like, I guess like actually taking the bets, and then he wasn't talking to me at the time, and then like all this stuff, because we weren't actually talking or anything. So like he didn't really care. And then once we actually started like kind of like liking each other, he told her like, he was like, no, I'm not gonna like keep taking the bets or whatever. And he like started telling me like what happened and stuff. And then ironically that same week he ended up going to, he went to jail, because it was really ironic, is I had the exact same purse. I was in his dorm, which is not allowed on GCU campus. You can't be in boys' bedrooms. You can be in their living room with the door 90 degrees open. It's very annoying, but like, so you can't be in their bedroom. But I literally wasn't doing anything. I was just in like the room hanging out with him, because he was like doing homework. And ironically, this is how God works. I was already on 2 strikes at that school from being caught up with weed. And if you get striked like 3 more times, like 1 more time, you either like get kicked off or you go to jail, whatever the situation is. So I was already on my like real thin. So like it's getting rough. And so when I had met him, pretty much we're in this room, and the campus security comes, and I gotta go back. So we're in the room, and I get a call from my friends. They're like, can you go get coffee with me? And it's super late, and it was girls I don't even really hang out with. So I was like, like it was just weird that I went. Like every time I think about it, I don't get why I went, to be honest. But I still was like, for some reason I said yeah, and I was like, yeah, let's go get coffee. And I left my bag there. And ironically, like 2 minutes later, campus security came because I was walking out and I saw the campus security and I was like, ooh, no, I don't like that. I was like campus critters, is what I call them, because they are terrible. I was like, so I started walking the other way, and I should have said something, but I didn't. I didn't know they were coming over to him. And then I guess ironically, his roommate saw the campus security and they came in, and what happened was, unfortunately, some kid had died on campus. A lot of kids were dying on campus from overdosing and stuff, from different drugs. Some guy like had died on campus, and he, I guess, bought like weed one day from my boyfriend through a Cash App. So they were like looking through the transactions to find out who gave this kid this drug that killed him. It wasn't my boyfriend at all, but like they still have to like do the investigation because they found all this weed and they found like alcohol. There was a lot. He's a white frat boy. That's what he was. So like at the time there was plenty of alcohol, plenty of like weed, this wine bags, all of that. So like it was like yeah, he's got caught up for that. And then like I guess they must have been looking for somebody else on campus. Somebody must have been doing something on campus. I can't lie, because anytime they looked for my stuff, they would tell me, where are your pills and stuff, and I was always like, I don't know what you're talking about. But they did the same thing for him. And then after they like found his stuff, they were like asking if he had like weapons, and kept like pushing it and being like, where are your weapons and other stuff like that. And then he was like, I don't have it. Like they were like really like, he was like, I don't sell that stuff. I don't have that. He was like, I just sell weed. I'm sorry, I have sell weed. He was like, I don't have that. But they were like, pushing for all that. And then he ended up going to jail, but it was weird because he went to jail, and from jail he went to prison actually. Like they were trying to take him out. It was actually so crazy. And thankfully, so my mom, she was in and out of prison like my entire life growing up. So I know how like it all works and everything. So I know what happens when you go. I know where your number is gonna be and stuff. So I just had a gut feeling, because all of a sudden I got a call from campus security when I was getting coffee, and I was like, oh my God, I was like shitting myself really, because I was like, oh my God, I was like, they're looking through my room right now, they're doing something, I don't know what I'm getting called for. So I'm like, I pick up the phone and they're like, hey, did you lose a purse? And I was like, oh, it sounds like a trap. I was like, no, I didn't lose a purse. I was like, where's my purse at? And then I'm looking for my purse, I realized I don't have it with me, so I'm kind of like, maybe I left. I was like, no, I left it with Colton. I was like, so I didn't lose my purse, but I was like, they definitely found it in the boys' room. But I don't care. I'm not gonna like say that he took it. So I was like, no, I didn't lose my purse. They were like, oh, you sure he didn't take this purse? And I was like, he didn't take my purse. I left my purse in his room. They were like, why were you in his room? I was like, because I left my purse. I was like, well, I'm not gonna keep asking him. But I was like, I just left my purse. And they kept. I guess they also did the same thing to him with some guy in a passport, because his friend was in his dorm with his passport. And they tried to like get him for his passport and stuff. It was a lot of stuff, but like it was like things that he wasn't doing. Sorry, I don't know why I'm shaking. I get shake a lot when I talk about stories, because
okay?
I have a lot of adrenaline. I don't know why, but yeah. So so like whatever. So they're calling me and they're like, well, so we're gonna have your purse over in the thing. But so after I hear that they have my purse, I'm already like assuming that there's something's going on, Colton. And so I'm like texting him. I'm like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, not answering me, and he doesn't. He always answers me, So I was like, okay. So I'm like calling him, he's not answering me. I'm calling his homies, all of his homies are not answering me. I'm like, oh, something's happening for sure. So then, all of a sudden I get a call from his one of his friends back, because I also had I had some more stuff in his room still, but I guess they found my bag because I had my ID in it. Ironically, that little tiny purse. Let me show you guys. This little tiny purse had like wax in it, like. And they didn't see it, and they had my purse in campus security. So if they had saw that, I'm telling you, God works in mysterious ways.
Sure does.
He works in mysterious ways, and I think that they did open it because it looked like fiddled with in a way, but like I don't think they knew what it was. So they were like, they just called it a day. So blessed. But so yeah, so they were like trying to get me for like just like for the purse and everything. I was already just nervous for Colton. And I was calling his friends and I was like, do you know where he is? And then they were like, Colton just went to jail. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what happened? So I'm like, now I'm trying to figure out what to do. And like, everybody is scary. I can't lie. Everybody is scared and shitting themselves and like walking around like head down scared. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm looking for Colton. I'm really like, I'm like, that's the only thing I care about right now, this city and this everything. So I literally was like, where's he at? So I'm searching for him. And then like, I couldn't find him, but I was like, oh, I looked up his number, looked up his name and everything on the internet, and I found that he got booked somewhere. So I was like, I already knew he was like still in the holding process and everything. So I was like, well, I just gotta wait it out. And I put my phone on, I put my like ringer up. which is not likely of me because I get anxiety like insanely for some reason. So anytime I hear my phone go off, I just like don't like it. So like I just keep it off. And I put my phone up just in case if he were to call me, and he called me like 3 minutes after I put my phone up. It was the weirdest thing. And like he told me, he was like, my phone's about to die. It's like at 1%. I need you to come get me. I'm at like the outside of this police department or whatever. And I was like, okay. I got some friends or whatever and immediately went to go get him. And like we just, he got kicked out of the campus like that same day. But I don't know why. I hate shaking. Like, ugh, my body just does that. It's so weird. Like even if I'm like angry, like I just like shake. What is that? My dad.
Just going back, thinking about it.
Yeah, my dad's the same way. Like if I'm gonna like fight somebody, if I'm angry about something or whatever, I just start shaking. I just, I don't know what it is, but yeah. So he went through the whole thing, and we go to like back to the campus, and then, like the same day he had to like pretty much go to like some like headquarter appeal thing to like talk about if he should be allowed on campus or not. And he was like, you know, saying his piece, being like why he should be in campus, and they were like laughing at him. He's what he said. They like laughed at him and were like, yeah, you're not gonna be here anymore, bro. So they were like, go back home. You have 24 hours to go back home to Washington with all your shit. And he was like, and minding you, he was a white boy from a small town. So now his family does not know about all this behavior. His family knows he was acting up before he was leaving, but they did not know to the extent. So like the fact that like now he has to call his family and say, hey, I just got kicked out of school and you gotta come get me pretty much in 24 hours. But he just didn't call his family, I guess, and like he just kind of was like trying to stick it out with his like one of his like roommates, and I was like he was literally just like kind of smuggled. I can't say too much, but he was like on the campus pretty much or whatever. So we were just like holding him there, which was hilarious. There were so many nights that like things could have gone wrong and they didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like so like I'm blessed for that. Like we had a fucking fire drill. When the fire drill happens at like that campus, everybody has to leave and everybody's dorms gets checked through, and so now we have to like kind of hide him because like he has to like walk through the campus and everybody knows his face. I mean like everybody like recognizes him type thing. So it was like you really couldn't just be like casually like walking around. It was just a whole thing, bro. It was so stressful. But like we did what we had to do. We called it a day. And then so after that it was like he had to make the decision because he can't just be staying in this dorm like forever. Now he was like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go back home or am I gonna live down here now? And then he was like, I've only been like knowing him for a week, and I think we've been dating for a week at this time. And he was like, well, I like you. And I like, we said I love you to each other, like first like week of dating each other. It's kind of insane. But like, he was like, so like I want to be with you. And I was like, I want to be with you too. And I don't really want to be like on campus anymore anyway. So I was like, we can just kind of like figure something out and like go stay like with each other. And so he was like, yeah, like that's what he was down for. And so he went back home to actually, he was going to get his best friend too. And his best friend was going to come initially like move down with him, and they were going to like get their life together, and I was going to live with them too. So he ends up leaving, and he told his family about how he's going to come back down now to, you know, live with this girl and everything. So now his family's thinking the same thing. They're like, who the fuck is this girl? They're like, no, she sounds bad. We're not doing this. Like, why just stay home? Like, you already got in trouble. Like, you're done. Like, and he was just like, no, I want to go back. So he did, and we took a chance on each other, and we just we like moved in like first immediately. And then it kind of sucked in the beginning because he was falling off and he wasn't like working, and it was just me, and I was like fighting for my life, bro. I was like all kinds of different things. And then him and his best friend, the roommate, they fell off, and he ended up moving. He moved away. They're cool now again too, but like he ended up moving away, and he was still on the lease and everything. He just moved away. He just didn't want to like live there anymore. And then like that was a whole thing, and it was just so crazy because like when it happened, we were like, so like I'm trying to like pay for all this stuff, and I was like drowning. And now we're at the time when we were starting to do drugs. We met this guy who was literally, it was hilarious because you wouldn't think that this guy had so much drugs, but he was the smallest little white man in the world, like this little guy, bro. But he had so much shit, and it was crazy because he was constantly just trying to feed it to us. Like, I don't know, he was the devil on the shoulder, I'm not gonna lie, because he was always just like, guys, we need to be doing this, we gotta be doing this, we gotta take these drugs. And at the time I was doing the 420 modeling cannabis community thing, and everybody there, all the girls too, like a lot of the girls are just doing some weed, but some of them are like, you know, doing drugs too. So they're kind of just like, yeah, we should be doing this too. There's everyone's like, you know, pushing to do this stuff. So I'm just like, and my family has a long line of history of abuse, and I like drugs. I do. I don't like drinking. You won't catch me really drinking for the fun. It's actually the funniest part. I'll take shots, like if we're all drinking, like for like celebrations, but I don't actually drink. I don't drink even beers. But if it's like shrooms or acid, I'm like, I got you. I'm always like, I don't know what it is. I just actually like enjoy them. But so anytime we would like start taking like heavy drugs and stuff, it got bad because like, you know how you don't think you're falling into drugs until like you're already deep in it. Like, yeah. So like it started off of like, we're just doing it with my friends. And then like my friends, some of them stopped doing it because they were going back to school and everything. And now it's still just me and him and the other guy. And like me and Colton, like it was so crazy because this guy was trying to like move in with us and he already had a place, which was already so weird why he wanted to move in with us. But he wanted to move in, and me and Colton, anytime we weren't on the drugs, we were like, fuck no. We were like, you're not moving in with us. That's a terrible idea. The moment we get some drugs in us, we were like, that's a good idea. We were like, that's a great idea, honestly, because you just get convinced. Your brain just like naturally so much like much more like agreeable of things. So I was just like, I don't know, we're just taking it, and like it was so fun. Like you don't stress about anything. You're constantly. At this time, I was doing really bad in school because I just pretty much like gave up on school completely. Like I just didn't see myself being at that school anymore because I personally like hated the experience. Like this is also around the time it was really big with the whole campaign between like Trump and I think it was like Biden. So it was real like political and everything, and it was just like I wasn't about it. I really just couldn't be on the campus, and it was honestly even a worse environment. I've been told straight to my face that I look rapeable at a party before. So I was like, because I'm not the one. I'm a crash out. And I act real calm, but as you can tell by my shaking, I'm a crash out. So I was like, let me not air this bitch out real quick. Let me just sit here and calm down, and let me just go home. So that's why I was like, I couldn't be in Arizona because like everybody, and there's so many parties, but I've never actually, I don't travel often, so I don't know. Like, and there's a lot of parties in Vegas, but my God, there's a lot of parties in Arizona. Every morning, there's like, you can have a freaking midterm exam and somebody's gonna post midterm exam party. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like there's so many. So like, there's so many you gotta keep up with. And like, I don't know if you've heard about bait parties too. Very dangerous. Those are very much a thing in Arizona, where they're pretty much like post a flyer for a bunch of girls to come out to like a high school, like college girls go out to this party. The party gets shut down real quick because they're trying to get girls and they're trying to take girls and do all this kind of stuff. So I've been in a lot of those parties too, where like I've been told I was gonna get sex trafficked. I've been told all kinds of things, and like it's insane. That's why I was like, I was telling my dad, I was like, I can't be down here because I'm gonna be a murderer. I was like, I'm gonna be. And my last straw was when me and my best friend at that time, the Mickey girl, we fell off because after the whole like whatever, we were going through a whole lot of stuff, and she kept trying to get me and my husband to break up, and I was like, I'm not gonna break up with him. I was like, honestly, like I really want to be with him, and I see this being like beneficial in my life, and I was like, I'm not gonna break up with him. And she kept being like, so you're not choosing me over him. And so her and me were like falling off, and then it got to a point where she was pretty much telling me to come fight her. And at this time I was so like angry with just everything, because I was so like on drugs, and just like everything was just so angry, and I was just like, honestly, I didn't care about the school. I didn't care about anything, you know? So I was like, honestly, I'm gonna let it all go. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. And I was gonna go literally murder this girl pretty much at this point. She can tell that was gonna happen. And that's why she didn't come out, because it was like, I've never like had so much like anger like in my life. And I can tell it was a dark time in my time. So I went there, and she didn't come out. I had multiple people texting me not to come fight her, because they were like, don't, Diamond. They were like even like men were texting me like, oh, if you come fight her, I'm gonna come fight you. I was like, please do. I need something to challenge me right now, because it's about to be a wrap, bro. I was like, oh my God. And I told her like, she wanted to fight on campus because campus security was there. I was ready to like, that was gonna be my last day at that campus. It was gonna be my last day at everything. I was ready to call it like quits. And that's when like I knew I was like, I'm at such like a deep state of mind where I'm either like willing to go to prison or murder somebody or kill myself. I was also suicidal at that time, super suicidal. That was like a whole thing too. But so when that was happening, I literally just didn't have a reason to care anymore. And I was like, honestly, I'm gonna fuck up my life. I was like, I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm gonna kill this girl. I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do and call it a day. And then she didn't come out, and I couldn't find her. And it's a blessing that she didn't come out. I know it's a blessing to God, because I went home that day and I reflected, and I literally like looked in the mirror, and we were on the drugs and everything too. And I was looking in the mirror, and I told my boyfriend, I was like, or my husband, I was like, I don't want to live here anymore, honestly. And I was like, it's not even that Arizona's a bad place. It's just that like what I was doing and who I was getting involved with and like how it was happening for me, it wasn't where I needed to be in the moment. And like, I'm sure if I were to go down there now, I've been down there a few times now, because some of his family stays down there and has some spots. And like, it's a great experience when you're not on drugs doing bad things, you know? So like, at the time I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore, and I'm ready to go home. And that was a big thing too, because like now we've already made my family mad by leaving school, messing up once. I'm already like, I was fucking up in school. I was getting Fs. I wasn't doing anything anymore. I pretty much just dropped out of it because I didn't see any benefit to it. So I dropped out of it. And I ended up like telling my dad everything. I told him, I was like, I'm suicidal. My boyfriend saved me from killing myself like 3 different times. I had overdosed and I almost died, and I also saved my husband from overdosing. So that was like life-changing stuff. But I don't want to cry, bro. But I was like life's really dark sometimes. So I literally was like, I just don't want to keep going through the whole cycle anymore, you know. And I was like, honestly, I'm ready just to like cut everybody off. And I was like, at that point, everyone like I was like making a lot of people that didn't like want to be friends with me anymore, because I was like, I'm at the point where I'm like, you got to cut you off if you're not going to be a part of my life, if you're not going to keep benefiting me. Not even benefiting me, it's more like if you're not going to be a positive aspect to my life. Because I'm like, if I feel like for some reason I feel like there's some hostility or whatever, I just got to cut it off, because I just felt like there were so many people that were actually not actually there for me at the end. And I still have some friends from Arizona that were actually like my ride or dies like through all of it. But some of my just like I just realized, I was like, honestly, like you guys are like leeches. I was like, I can't do this. I got to cut you off. And I told the guy who was giving us all the drugs, he was pretty much staying with us because he convinced us to stay with us. I told him, I was like, I don't want you to live with us anymore. I want you to go. We're going to leave. And then he was like, that's not fair. And I was like, I don't give a fuck what's fair, honestly. I was like, leave. I was like, this is not fair either. My whole life is completely just like down the drain right now, and I don't care. I'm ready to get my life together. And then he literally was like, oh, yeah, honestly, that sounds good. And I was like, my God, I was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these people were like, they felt like NPCs. They felt like challenges almost in a way. So we got him out the way he was done. And he ended up trying to be friends later on in life. And we're cool. But like, we're cool. That's it. I don't want to be friends with these people anymore. I don't want to keep going back, because it's just like, that's just too much. We did that. I told the Mickey girl, I was like, honestly, Mickey, like, you're cool. We're friends, but you got to get your life together too. Because at this time too, she was the one that was putting me in a lot of the dangerous situations, like where I almost got sex trafficked and everything. Like a lot of those dangerous situations became from her. And I do forgive her, because she had an alcohol disorder where I guess like she takes one sip of alcohol and she would black out. And like, when I mean black out, she literally would be like paralyzed, blacked out for a little bit. And I would have to take care of her for a minute. And then she would actually like wake up and like be the most like, it was like the devil switched on. Like she literally would start, like she would hit you. Like if you, she could walk up to her and say hi, and she would be like, no, fuck you, get out of my face. Like just some weird shit. And so she was constantly causing problems, and like she would go do dangerous things, and she'd be like, Diamond, I went to go hang out with some boy right now to do drugs with him, and now he's gonna rape me, so you gotta come save me. And it's like 2 a.m, and I'm like, what am I not gonna go save her? I'm gonna go save her, obviously. So now I'm like going back and forth, and it was causing just so much stress. And like I was just like, I gotta cut all these people off in my life. I was like, because it's bringing me down. And I also was like starting to feel like I was a bad person, because like I honestly like I know that I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I don't feel like I'm genuinely a bad person. And at this point, I started to feel like I was becoming a genuinely bad person by the way I was thinking, because I was thinking of bad things. Like I was getting to a point where like devastating, where I was thinking about just robbing good people for no reason, like just like types thing. Because like I'm just like, your brain just like goes into this like state of like disparity in a way. And I realized like that wasn't who I was, and it's not like, and I knew I had a better option, and I was like, I can go home. So I was like, I just dropped it all, and I told everybody, I was like, I'm done. I cut off the Mickey girl, cut off everybody, and everybody wanted to fight me when I was cutting everybody off. And they were like, you're a crash out diamond, you're on drugs, you don't want to do this, that's why you don't want to be friends. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, I don't care what anybody thinks of me right now. I'm ready to go home. And I went home to my grandma. Thank you very much. And that's exactly what I did. I went home to my grandma, and she took care of me. Like I didn't actually go like we went back to where she pretty much ran a whole complex called like Paradise Royale. That's where I was raised my entire life, because when I lived with her my whole life, she always lived in that same spot. So I lived there for like 20 years. It was really funny. But me and my boyfriend, we decided to move down into this like studio apartment. We literally just dropped everything, took all of our animals, and moved states like that same week. And I remember having the conversation with him and telling his family, and his family was like so like irritated. They were like, why can't you just stay and do something simple? Like, why do you got to keep doing this? And then the fact of moving to Vegas sounded even significantly worse to them. They were like, that's even worse than Arizona. Why would you do that? Da, da, da. But it wasn't going to be worse, because I actually had family out there, and I actually knew what I was going to do. Like I couldn't really mess up in a way, because I had people that were constantly like, you need to get together type thing. So my grandma, she was the one that kept like pushing me to get back into school and everything. And I moved back to Vegas and started just immediately, the moment I moved back to Vegas, I got a little job at Chuck E. Cheese, where I started out actually. And I worked there for 3 years as a manager, and it was a fun start. But I worked at Chuck E. Cheese, and then I started school back up, and I just started doing whatever I could to just grind and like, I don't know, push myself, push my family. My family's all like really struggling with a lot of different things too. So I've just been like, since I came back, me and my family have all like, we're so much more better, and we're all just more mature about the different things, and we're just like grown. So I just help them with everything, and they've been providing for me, and I provide for them. And I'm trying to get my grandparents, when we end up like moving, I'm gonna have my grandparents come stay with me, because they've been my rock for everything, and they still are my rock for everything right now. And my family, like my family relies on my grandparents, and I just want to like take that off with them too. So, yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I have a lot. I was like, it's a lot, but
no, it's perfect. And then I did hear you say something about modeling.
yes. Well, I used to do a little bit back then, and it was when I was more doing it like in the cannabis community. I was like, I don't know, interacting with more people. And it was really fun when it like started out and everything. And then I kind of had a couple rough patches where I was meeting some people like I just got like weird. I had like a photo shoot where they like wanted me to do some satanic shit, like some real satanic shit. And I was like, no. I was like, I'm not doing this, guys. I was like, I'm not gonna do this. Like,
here in Vegas?
No, this one was in Phoenix when it started out. This is why I kind of stopped wanting to do modeling at first, because I was like, it just got weird, and I don't know, just like certain areas, I just didn't feel like the motive anymore. And then since I got back, I was in such a like a mindset of like I just need to get money right now, and I need to go back to school and get in the grind. So I kind of just like fell off on the modeling thing, because I was like, I want to work right now. I want to get my money. I have like a lot of animals. I have 7 animals. So I was like, I want to take care of all my animals. I want to just like, I want to have a nice space. I want to just like take care of myself. And then I just kind of like dropped out of it. But like, I have a lot of family, like my cousins and stuff that are in it. My cousin like does a whole, her name is like Miss like Deity, like, or is what her Instagram name is. But she does all kinds of different modelings and stuff. So I've already like known if I really wanted to, I could get back into it. And I just never really was like as interested, because I was like, it's just stressful going back out there, you know? And I was also having not very many good experiences in Arizona. So I was already just like, I get nervous talking to new girls and everything too. I'm always so shy. I literally just stand like in the corner, and I'm just like, I don't know how to interact with people, because I don't know what everyone's vibe is right now. I don't know how everyone like it's not like, I don't care what everyone's vibe is. I'll make it work, whatever it is. I just got to figure, like, if I got to fill it out. I'm like, I don't know what it is yet, you know? So I'm just like, I'm nervous. And then I also get like really nervous to do like shoots and like hanging out with people. Like I get nervous to like go places, because some people have tried like jumping me and setting me up and doing certain things before. That's why I'm like, you never really know where you're going. Like before even coming here, I had to like send my location to a few people and be like, look, just so you know, I'm gonna be here. Just like, because I don't know, it's just hard, like especially just being a girl, like, and you've been told so many like crazy things, like it's just like you got to be a little extra like protective, you know. And I don't know, so that's why like but I'm also really trying to get out of that mindset, because it's also like a negative mindset where my brain is just like so afraid. So I'm like, not everybody's trying to do you dirty. I was like, just try to like fill it out, know for the best, and like if I feel comfortable enough, then I'm like, okay, cool, and I'll just like go for it. So I'm definitely been like pushing myself to actually like expand, and it's been working out. But I'm doing it with like people that I know other people have worked with, and other people have been like around, so I know I actually like I can ask other people like, hey, does people seem okay? Is it like, it's not gonna be weird, it's gonna be fine, like, so I have a better idea. And like I don't know, so that's what I'm trying to do right now, just promote myself more and just get out there and like talk to more people, and even just take a whole modeling career. I really don't even have a whole like idea of having a modeling career. I really wanted to be like so many other things in life right now. I just really want to just promote myself and get out there and just interact with more people. And I love Sin City. This is my city, so if I get to know more people, that's the best thing for me. I love interacting with more people, so why not? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I was born and raised here. It's my hometown.
Yeah,
so I
like
love Sin City.
You can never go wrong. It's the best place, really.
Perfect. And then no, it's true though. Like nowadays, even before, like you can't trust anybody. It's like you don't know their intentions.
Yeah.
Especially like you haven't met those those people.
It's just stressful. Like you don't know. Like you don't know at the end of the day. So
yeah, that's how it is. But do you see yourself in the near future doing like modeling a lot more?
Yeah.
Modeling?
I have a few I have a few shoots that I've already like done like recently that I'm supposed to be getting the photos back for, and then I have a few that are coming up. There's a couple of like different people, so I'm trying to get back out there, and I'm trying to like actually practice modeling more. I feel very like I'm always really shy like in camera. I don't know how to act, so I'm trying to like I don't know, just get more out there and get more confident, and I just need to be more out there, and it's just hard. So but I'm like, I got it, I can do it. I just need to really put myself out there, and yeah.
No, trust me, I know. Like I'm always behind the camera, but when I get in front, I get all shy.
Yeah,
it's
stressful.
Nervous. I start sweating.
Yeah, you're like,
damn.
You're like, oh, this is a lot. This is a lot.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to give your IG.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
And then,
okay, well, my Instagram is Love Diamond Morris, or Love Diamond M, and it's that because I haven't gotten my name changed in that yet. Just wait. But yeah, Love Diamond M. Thank you.
So I just want to say thank you, Diamond. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We definitely appreciate your story.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys having me. It means a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.